wish I could have made it through that war without any problems, without, you know, PTSD stuff, you know. I wish I could have survived through that and just got back to my normalness that I had growing up.
Only 2% of the nation does serve in the military. They do it for the other 98% that can't. They're taught PTSD, to go into war. You're taught to be vigilant, alert, all of these things. You're taught this. And then when you get out of the Army and they send you home, they don't unteach you. With shedding their own blood, watching their buddies die beside them. They already earned, paid for it a long time ago. And we have to respect them. They don't tell you how to get rid of your demons and how to not be hypervigilant and how not to be always looking. We've got to give them at least the same rights that they fought for us to have. You know, I've read that the new veterans drive down the street and the wives tell me they see a box on the side of the road. They'll dodge out of the way because they're so used to the IEDs. So, you know, every war's got their threats, you know, and it's just like they just can't turn it off when they get home.
We get out there and the enemy blew a claymore mine on us. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up. Couldn't find my rifle, you know. And Doc's hollering at me, and he says, I finally heard him. And I crawl back to the boulders they were behind. And as I get behind the boulders, he was working on one of my men that had taken a bullet in his leg. And he said, just sit still. You sustained the brain in, you know, concussion. And I had wounds on the shoulder and stuff. And it was about that time, I go, where's Hall? Well, about that time, I hear Hall. And he goes, Rooster, help me. Sergeant Kirby, help me. And I thought I ran out there. The doc goes, no, you said, well, the F
I already
word.
said it, yeah.
And you just said, fuck it, and got up and walked out. Grabbed Hall. And I was dragging him back, and they opened up on us, and I could feel the bullets going by my legs and my shoulders. You could feel it. And Hall gets shot in the ass as I'm dragging him back, and he had claymore pellets just all over him. You know, so bad day.
A determination in incompetency will prohibit you from purchasing, possessing, receiving, or transporting a firearm or ammunition. If you knowingly violate any of these prohibitions, you may be fined, imprisoned, or both pursuant to the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act.
As you went through your lives, I mean, how did you imagine it wrapping up? How did you see, you know, as you're going into, you know, you're going to be in your senior years, how did you see it ending up? Did you see it being peaceful, remaining in control of your lives?
Yes, yes.
And you think you earned that when you served your nation? I mean,
Yes,
it really
exactly,
seems like a fairly...
yes. And I worked all my life, and he worked all of his, and yes.
You took care of the finances. You did that side of the family's life. And
Well, yeah, we got married. Like I said, we met, and within 2 weeks we were married. We went to Fairchild Air Force Base in Spokane to pick up his paycheck and his combat pay because he had just came back from his latest tour in Vietnam. We were sitting in the car, and he hands me the paycheck, and he says, "You're the woman. This is your job." You know, and that's a generational
that's
thing
how
too.
people looked at things.
Right.
Yeah, I
mean,
understand,
you know, and there's a lot of times over the years I'd say, hey, this isn't fair because you make me responsible, and then we don't have money, then it's my fault, you know. So, you know, and I always worked too, and we had 4 children. He could do them if he had to. Because I haven't gone paperless. I say, no, I want the bills coming to the house so he can see. I've kept notebooks for years with the budget on the 1st and the 15th, so all he would have to do is go to the month before and see what I did, you know. But he did tell her, no, the wife does the finances, and another reason is PTSD. He can't deal with, if, say you get a billing error, and cell phones are really good with that. You know, you get a billing error and they charge you too much, and he says I'm the talker, and I am. I call him up and I straighten out the bill and say, no, this isn't right or whatever, where he would tend to get frustrated and probably hang up on him.
What's it like to love your country the way that you did, and to be in this spot now? Where does it leave you feeling about it?
Well, I love my country. I have never loved my politicians. To me, I don't care if they're Republican, Democrat, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, I don't care. We the people elect them into office. I hate to use that word. We're getting screwed. We're not being represented by those that we elected into office.
And what's your concern for other veterans that also suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, who maybe don't have this kind of great family support system? At least that helps. What goes through your mind about them hearing similar things about losing their Second Amendment rights? I mean, things like that.
Well, it's like I'm saying, trying to figure out how do we come together. But somehow we got to get them together. Somehow we just got to come together and say, okay, change has got to be made. We can't do this anymore. We can't allow this government to go on taking us down. They sent us off to war. We have problems. It's their job to take care of it.